Applebee's 2 for $20. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Life is for living. And at First International Bank and Trust, we're all about living, helping your dreams come true. Because we're not just in the banking business. We're in the first home business, the community sponsorship business, the how do I make this happen business. Making your banking life easy so you can focus on what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
A family farm is, well, different. The cab of a tractor is the CEO's office. Board meetings are held on the bed of Grandpa's pickup. And a conference call is a holler across the yard to hurry your chores, kids. There's homework to be done. A family farm is about family pride as much as profit. Farmers Union Insurance believes this way of life is worth protecting. Because this isn't just where we work, it's also our family's home. Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
Coming to you live once again from the Bonfire Studios North. It's another episode of Tours All Access. I'm your host, Peter Theodos. Joining me to my left, as always, Mr. Ken Oda. Ken, it's a sad day. Baseball season ended last night.
Well, it ended for me back in July, but sure.
Fair enough. But you know what? Baseball season's officially over.
That means everyone can turn their attention to hockey full-time now.
Exactly. And you know what? 2 big games this weekend in Minot against the Aberdeen Wings.
4 big games, really. Minot State hosts
absolutely.
U of I. That's the reason we're on Thursday and early on Saturday. So a fun weekend overall at the rink. I'm looking forward to catching those MSU games as well, especially Saturday night once our work is done. I can kind of kick back and relax and just watch a hockey game as a fan.
A school kind of from your area, too.
Yeah. I used to go watch games there back in college. I went to DePaul, not U of I, but just a couple hours down the road. So a fun place to go catch a game every now and again. So looking forward to it. I'll of course be rooting for Minot State and Waz
absolutely.
Now, but it should be a fun experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to backtrack a little bit, because we love to do that on this show. Toro's got 2 points in St. Cloud, decently. And very much needed as they jump up into third place.
Yeah, and I thought our first guest, we won't get to him for a couple minutes here, but had a huge goal to kind of trigger that comeback. The second comeback win he sparked, I thought after what was a pretty dominating performance by St. Cloud on Friday night, the Toros falling behind by 1 early on Saturday could have gone poorly, but Char with his second career goal, a big one on Saturday night, started the comeback, and the Toros rolled from there. So
absolutely,
it was good.
And Zach Sandy once again playing well and getting some big saves when he definitely needed to, and some big spots. And we mentioned it before, and we'll touch on it a little bit with both of our guests. But St. Cloud's a hard place to play. Just the rink is a hard place to play in.
Cody and I talked a little bit on the coaches interview during the pregame show on Saturday. It's I don't want to say spoiled isn't the right word, but our guys get spoiled. Bismarck's got decent crowds. Aberdeen has big crowds. We obviously have huge crowds. So
you've seen it, I haven't, but North Iowa's got a nice rink.
North Iowa has a nice rink, but it wasn't packed by any means. But guys get kind of used to all of a sudden the games in the Dakotas, you're playing in front of 1,000, 1,200, or our building 1,800 people on a given night. And all of a sudden you go into a barn where there's maybe 250, and it makes it a little bit harder to get up and get going for the game, right? It makes it feel you have to find the energy somewhere else. You can't just rely on oh man, I'm pumped up. This place is rocking. It's just a different atmosphere. It almost feels like you're, even as a broadcaster in the building, it feels like you're watching a practice. It doesn't have that same vibe. And I will say, I think compared to where they were a couple of years ago, St. Cloud really is coming along. I mean, the crowds have grown. Last year they took a hit with COVID, but compared to even 2 years ago, pre-COVID, there were more people in the building. You are starting to see a little bit more in the town as far as some fans and stuff like that. So I think they're trending in the right direction, but it takes time, right? And it's certainly they're in a harder market with a D3 team, a D1 team, the Granite City Tier 3 team that's been there a long time. So they're coming along, and I think they're making progress, but it's certainly, again, when you're playing in front of 400 people instead of 1,800 people, a different atmosphere.
And the other thing, too, is they were bad the first year they were in St. Cloud. They were bad. So that's going to hurt getting fans. Last year, obviously, COVID. This year, they got a good team.
Yeah, they have a very good group, and we knew they would. Coach Millen there does a good job. He's won a Robbie with the Minnesota Wilderness a few years back. So, they're going to be a strong program. And, again, it just – We've talked about it for years how good the Central Division is, and they were maybe the 1 weak link, and they're gone now. There's no more nights off.
They might have been replaced by a team down south.
Well, let's not count chickens there. Yeah,
exactly.
They they're right now. There's no cupcakes, and you poke fun at Bismarck all you want, but they beat us in their building, right? So
exactly, they're still a good team. Lane's a good coach, and he's always got some tricks up his sleeve.
And They split with St. Cloud the last weekend they played, so their record might not be great right now, but they're certainly not the pushover that, say, St. Cloud was a couple of years ago, or Brookings was a couple before that. They're certainly a stronger team. North Iowa joins the division, and they're right battling for first place. So, there's no off nights in the Central.
Nope. But all right,
except for this Friday, which I guess is very much technically an off night, but that's because we're not playing a game.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. Fans, he finally scored his first goal 2 weekends ago.
We told him we'd have him back once he did.
We told him we'd have him on.
That was the deal.
And he's back on. Fans, please give a huge welcome to Mr. Nikolai Charchenko. Char, congratulations on not just your first one, but both of your first career Toro goals.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we're just going to start right there. How much pressure do you just feel lifted off of your body now?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of pressure off. The monkey's finally off my back, and I don't have to worry about putting a puck in the back of the net. So it's kind of a special feeling. Kind of took 2 years, but I'm glad it finally happened.
Yeah, when you scored the first one at home against Austin in a game that looked like the Toros didn't have much of a chance in, the first thing I said on the air was, we can't lose this game for me, right? Like, we can't have your first career goal come in a game that we end up losing by 3. Like, just as long as you've been here wanting that career goal, to have it come in a game that you can actually be happy about scoring it, how much did that comeback change how that goal felt?
Yeah, it definitely felt good. I mean, like you said, it triggered that momentum swing. I think everyone else kind of said in the locker room after, like, everyone got an extra boost of energy, and I think the crowd did too.
Oh, absolutely. I know they did.
Definitely helped.
I know I did too. That's for sure.
I know that.
Well, I know even a couple stoppages later, guys were still giving you taps on the head. Cole Mickle, who had been knocked out of that game with injury, came back down the tunnel to congratulate you. What were guys saying to you on the bench?
They were they're pretty excited. After the huddle, I was like, or in the corner, I was like, no way that went in. And finally it happened, and everyone was on the benches all excited. Simo, gave me a huge hug after. Jackson Panzer, same thing. Everyone was pretty pumped, and I got a huge knock and huge smile from Kev too, so it was good to see.
Obviously that was just a huge accomplishment for you and a huge momentum swing, but you guys were still down a goal with 2 minutes left in that game. How quickly?
Down 2 with 2 minutes left in that game.
Well, I'm saying after you scored the goal.
Yeah.
So you were still down a goal after that one. How
Yep.
quickly did you have to flip your mindset from, all right, this is really cool, it finally happened, to, all right, we still have business to take care of?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of taken it in a little bit. First goal I scored in 2 years. So
Well, yeah,
it
absolutely.
felt
Yeah,
good.
you have to take it
Yeah,
in.
but yeah, you got to refocus, especially being down 2 goals there, and you got that first one there, and we still had a goal to take in regulation, and fought back, battled back, and won a shootout there. So it was a good win, good momentum swing too.
We've seen your family come to a lot of games, and they'll come to, being from Victoria, Minnesota, they come to a lot of the Minnesota games. So you have a very good relationship with your family also, and you stay in touch with them a lot. 2 parts of that. 1, were they at the game? And 2, what was the conversation with them like after the game?
No, they weren't at the game. I wish someone was, especially Riker, but
That's your brother, correct?
yeah,
Okay.
little brother, yeah. Yeah, I called my mom right after the game, and she was pretty pumped, pretty excited. The whole family's group chat was going off, just texting. My grandparents texted me. They said they're at a resort in Arizona for a little trip. They said they were watching the game. They were screaming so loud that they thought they were going to get kicked out of the hotel. Other grandparents were screaming too on the TV, just pumped up. So it was pretty cool to hear everyone do that.
Any big plans for the puck?
I already taped it up. It's in my room at the billet house. Not moving it, not touching it. It's there. I'm keeping it. No one else is
Well, that was going
touching
to be my
thing.
next question. Is it going to end up with you, or is it going to end up with your parents or your little brother? Or is this one the one you're 100% keeping?
This one I'm keeping, but I mean, Coach Campbell was joking about it. He said maybe we'll frame the stick and put up in a silver plaque above the rink with the puck next to it too. I can't pass that up if he actually makes it happen.
You stayed hot. You got your second on Saturday, as I talked about, sparked another comeback. Toros were down 1 early there, and that again sparked an offensive explosion that finished the period up 3-1, and that one was definitely much more of a highlight reel type goal. You really were able to walk into that puck and just rip one by the goaltender.
Yep.
That play, does that come from the confidence that you got from finally getting your first?
Yeah, I think so. And this year I was really focused on trying to shoot more, get pucks to the net more, and because I know my offensive game hasn't really been there, more of a defensive defenseman who worries more about keeping the puck out of the net than actually putting the puck in the net.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I've shoot the puck more and saw a lane, had to take it, and it went straight in, so I was pretty excited for that one too.
Well, you're on a roll right now. Obviously, 2 goals in your last 4, 6 total points. You had 7 points all of last year, and we're about a quarter of the way through the season.
Yep.
So, what did you work on during the offseason to really help your offensive side of the game?
I think just focus on just doing the little things, controlling the puck more, focus on more getting shots through, like I said, and advancing pucks too, especially up to the forward, so they can actually make the offense happen. Even if it's assists too, I'll take the points, and everything works. I'll just want to contribute a little bit more offensively.
Toros didn't get a lot of points from the back end last year. I think Mason Campbell was probably the leader. I think he had 2 goals and maybe 10 assists total. Already, Bubba has 6 helpers. You've got 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points. Cole has, I think, 2 and 4 or something like that. Yeah, we're getting more offense from the back end. How much does that change what you guys are able to do in a game by, not just playing defense, but contributing at the offensive end as well?
Yeah, it definitely helps. I mean, everyone's got to take part in scoring and take part in contributing some offense, especially coming from the back end too. So even when the puck gets up to the point from the forwards, we just got to find a way to get it through the shot blockers and on net. And it's been showing, it's been helping. So
We talked a little bit about it, Ken and I did, before the show, and then the 3 of us talked about it before we came on air. But you're in your 3rd year of juniors. You've played in every rink now in the division. You've played through the top crowds in the Mesa to the 600 restrictions that we had. Just having that wide variety of experiences and playing in a bunch of different venues. How hard is it for a player when you're starting to get a little tired, but you're just not getting that energy from the fans?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, but we're used to playing in front of every sort of crowd. We got to make our own energy either way. So it starts on the bench, starts with the communication on the bench and off the ice and on the ice and everything. So we got to build it that way.
You're the only guy on the roster, actually the only guy in the program history to have played for Marty, Shane, and Cody. As much as I love Marty and Shane, let's keep the focus on the present.
Yep.
What does playing for Cody Campbell? Obviously, the change, the timing wasn't ideal, but we're a couple months into this now. Do you feel that you guys have kind of come together as a group now, and that there's an understanding between the coaching staff and the players?
Yeah, I think so. I think everyone can back me up on this, saying this. Like, Cody's a great guy. He's a great coach, and he's got a great history too. And he's really been focused on trying to build a team chemistry, team identity, and it's really helped. We picked out 3 words too to signify our team: character, confidence, commitment, and I think it's helped. So it's 3 things we want to focus on individually.
Where's your chip?
I got it. It's in my wallet. It's in my pocket.
Good man. Good man.
Actually, I'm going to cut in here with one more. We've got Tiffany Russell on Facebook. Says, now that Char's found the offensive side of his game, maybe Char can take on Bubba in Target Tuesday. So I think...
Ooh.
You won it last year for a week, didn't you?
I did for a couple weeks. So we were thinking about in the locker room today, like, I think Bubba beat me. And that's when he went on the whole...
And he hasn't lost since,
okay.
yeah.
So I might be the last reigning Target Tuesday champion behind Bubba.
Interesting. I'm actually going to have to... I don't remember. I had it written down last year, but I lost the piece of paper. I'm going to have to go back and look.
It was back at Christmas time, I remember, and then New Year's Eve, it all got flipped.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll have to go back and look.
Clafton, so we'll have to definitely get some... We'll get you in there next week with Bubba. That's all I got, I think. We still got just a quick other section. Yeah.
Just a quick look ahead. Aberdeen coming up this weekend. Obviously, you've been here a couple of years. You were here the year that Aberdeen won the cup. You were here last year when Aberdeen was just a juggernaut, right? Mm-hmm. Although the Toros took him to the limit overtime at Game 5 in that playoff series. Because of that playoff series, because of the history with Aberdeen, how much are you looking forward to getting your first crack at the Wings this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we have huge rivalry with them, even bigger than Bismarck, I'd say. And it's really showing, especially from last year, and it's going to be fun playing them. I mean, I hate them, especially playing them for 2 or 3 years now, so you kind of learn to hate those guys, and no matter who's on the ice, what Aberdeen player or new player, old players on there, it's still the same Aberdeen Wings, same organization.
Well, it is going to be a little bit different now that they have they're in their post-Langer years. But what expectations do you guys have from them this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we still got to take it like it's a team with great players, great commitment on their team, and the coach, I don't know how it's going to be looking over on their bench, not seeing Langer's red face behind their bench. So it's going to be a little different, but I mean, we still got to take it. We still got to come in every game and expecting to win, and they're committing hard and playing hard and trying to win those 2 points.
Yeah, as a veteran guy, it's easy to kind of get into that junior routine, right? Games are Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, Monday a lighter practice, Tuesday, Wednesday go hard, Thursday another lighter practice. This week that's not the case. Mm-hmm. The weird Thursday, Saturday setup, even then Saturday's game being at 4:00. How much does a shake up to the routine affect you as a veteran or just the guys in general?
Yeah, it shakes up a little bit. Shakes up the practice plan usually during the week, but you got to adapt to it. It's part of the game, part of hockey, especially playing Fridays and Saturdays. Kind of changes up my nap routine sometimes playing early a game, but you got to change it. Still, you got to go out there and play hard, play every shift.
Is it easier to deal with the weird scheduling when you're the home team, or would it be easier if we were, you think, maybe on the bus and in the hotel?
I think it's easier home team. You just get your own bed, own food and everything, so you don't have to worry about getting fed food from Applebee's or something.
Hey, that's fair. Char, congratulations on your first 2 goals.
Thank you.
We'll try to have you on one more time. How about that?
I can do that. I'll make that deal.
We'll have him on when he breaks the record and gets his 12th as a Toro defenseman.
There we go.
I'll take that too.
That's a good goal to have.
That one, yeah.
Char, congratulations. Fans, that's Nikolai Charchenko. For fans that didn't see it, we had a great announcement made in the locker room before practice today.
North American Hockey League Forward of the Month,
yeah.
Houston Cartman, had some news to share with his teammates. Sean, let's give that a view now.
Well, first we'll start off with something from you guys, Carts. think you have something to tell the boys?
Yeah, boys, I committed to UConn yesterday.
Okay, so that's awesome. Obviously, I don't think anybody can argue that extremely deserving guy to get the first one of the year out of the way, and there'll be plenty more to come of that. But congrats, Carps. That's awesome.
Thanks, Coach.
So yeah, great news coming out of Toros camp. The first commitment for the Toros this year, and it couldn't have been for a better guy.
No, and it's also as excited as I am for Houston and also for Cody. Talking to Cody, that was his first D1 commit as a head coach as well.
I was wondering about that.
So I'm excited for the milestone for Cody and for Houston, but also what I'm excited about is after a couple of years with weird recruiting due to COVID and the NCAA giving guys an extra year and all that stuff, seeing commitments start to roll in early in the season
is good.
It means that there's going to be more opportunities for our guys. I think we had a few guys last year. We had several guys last year who I think were deserving. Jay Buchholz should be a D1 hockey player.
Absolutely.
Ethan Schmunk should be a D1 hockey player. And they're not, just because of the craziness that was the transfer portal and the fifth year of playing eligibility,
or a team just not playing in general.
And I mean, you've now got guys who had already taken a redshirt year, so having their 6th year of college hockey, like it created a roster back up, and it led to some guys not getting opportunities. So seeing Houston Cartman get that, and seeing some commitments from around the league as well, it's good to see that the recruiting's back and that recruiting numbers should be back up to kind of more what we're used to, seeing 6 or 7 guys commit per year from our team, which
absolutely
would be good.
We actually Houston, may see more.
I would say Houston was our 72nd through, really this is season number 11, but there weren't any that first year, so we're talking 10, 11.
Well, you got to think too.
Year.
A lot of teams got players in the transfer portal. They got guys back for that 5th and 6th year. So they had smaller classes this past year.
Yeah.
Those numbers are going to be down. So look for these next 2 years for a lot of D1 commitments coming, because they just need the numbers. So hopefully this next guy can get something here within the next go. You got something.
I would say before we get to that, every week your mom checks in and says hello from West Virginia, and you never say hello to your mom. So hi, Mrs. Theodos.
Well, you're the new favorite, I guess.
And while we're saying hi to moms, I want to say happy birthday to my mom. Her birthday was yesterday. So
on what?
On the 5th anniversary of the Cubs winning the World Series.
Which do you remember first?
I always wish my girlfriend a happy Cubs World Series anniversary first.
Halfway through the day, you go, oh, it's my mom's birthday. I should get her flowers.
I sent flowers.
You did get them flowers.
I sent flowers yesterday.
Enough of our ramble. Fans, please welcome in Mr. Owen Hansen. Owen, welcome to Toros All Access.
Thanks for having me.
You're a local kid. You grew up here in Minot. We'll touch on that here in a second. But this is your first time playing juniors. What are your thoughts on junior hockey and how you've done so far?
I mean, personally, it's a big jump. I mean, you got to stay dialed in every single day going into practice. You got to work hard. I mean, it's a battle every single day. And, you got to bring it going into games on the weekend. And the biggest thing is just taking away 2 points every night.
Do you think it adds a little pressure, or does it make the adjustment easier being back here in Minot where you're from?
I mean, it's the same game. I mean, I don't really feel a whole lot of pressure. I'm just so grateful to be here and playing for my hometown team. So.
Is the transition a little bit easier, basically living with family?
I mean, yeah, it's awesome having their support. I mean, I really appreciate it. I mean, being miles away from home, I mean, they've always supported me, but now being able to go check in on my grandma and just hanging out with my friends, I'm just so grateful for that.
You moved to Fargo, correct, after, 2 years ago?
Yep.
Or 3 years ago?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. Which your mom still lives there, right?
Mm-hmm. My whole family does.
Your whole family, okay. So that must really help, too, when we go to like St. Cloud or Austin, they can still easily travel to see you. So pretty much you're playing with family in the stands every weekend, right?
Mm-hmm. It's very easy.
And I bet he says hi to his mom, Peter.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Mama's boy.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
I'm just giving Peter a hard time about his mom. It's not.
Mom checks in and says, "Love you, Ken," by the way.
Yeah. But having grown up a bit in Minot, did you come to Toro games when you were living here? Was it something that, as a younger kid playing in Minot, that you were, hey, someday I'd like to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I was always looking forward to going to the Toro games, smacking some slushies, hanging out with my youth teammates, and just going to all the tailgates and just watching some good hockey. I mean, being here, I'm just so grateful. I mean, I always looked up to the Toros growing up, being the honorary Toro when I was younger, and just seeing Johnny Walker and all those guys. I mean, it's pretty special being here, saying that I can represent my hometown, Magic City.
So you're old enough then, if you remember the Walker teams, you have to, I imagine you remember Jake Howie playing as a Toro.
Yep.
Is it weird now playing for him as one of the assistant coaches?
I mean, when I saw that he got the job, I was pretty excited because, Howie was one of my favorite players growing up. I just remember one of the nights he scored, and it was my buddy's birthday, and we were going into the locker room to get our shirts signed. And I just remember seeing Howie, and I was like, oh boy, there he is. So I was pretty fired up.
You mentioned a couple different people, Jake Howie, Johnny Walker, but who else were some of your favorite guys that you grew up really liking to watch?
Jaden Martin, for sure. He was a block away from me, and he and I would always mess around at the open hockey deal, and he'd always hang out with me, make me feel included. And Austin Killian, for sure. I still talk to him this day. Great guy. So,
playing in your hometown, we've talked about not a lot of extra pressure. Do you think it's made it maybe even a little bit easier not having to deal with the stress of learning a new place?
A little bit, but not so much. I'm just, how can I word this? I'm just pretty thankful that I'm here. It's some weight off the shoulders. This has always been a goal of mine to play here in Minot. Ever since the Toros came around, it was just a set goal of mine, and I feel like moving away from home really helped me, and I was just like, hey, I want to play for the Toros one day. So,
you're still a rookie in town, but you're from here. What did the guys do? Were you one of the guys that kind of led the new guys around to kind of be like, hey, go to this place, it's really good to eat. Go here, this place is fun to go to. What were some of the places in town that you were telling guys to go to?
Most of it was where should I go get a haircut? And I was usually telling them about that. And places to go eat. I was kind of just letting them know and all that stuff. So.
Where's your favorite place to go?
Oh boy, India.
India, okay.
Good spot.
I don't think the hockey players need much help figuring out where to find food. At least our guys, yeah.
No.
Now, we've talked a lot about you being a Toros fan growing up. You've played against the Bobcats, haven't played against Aberdeen yet. Is there one of those that you felt, as a Toro fan, that was a bigger rival? And do you think that'll change now that you're a player?
In my youth days, playing against the Bismarck Capitals growing up, I never really liked Bismarck so much, just because I didn't really know who the Aberdeen Wings were back then. So I'd have to say the Bobcats were definitely the games that I was really looking forward to go watch.
How exciting was that to play in your first Toro Bobcat game?
It was a very special moment. Just playing in Bismarck first, playing against them, that was the big rivalry right there. The two North Dakota teams, it was pretty special. And then playing my first game at home, hearing my name, and just going onto the ice was just an unreal feeling. So
you've had the chance to play competitive games now on, well, I guess all three rinks probably at the Mesa. Which one's your favorite one to play on?
Pack the Pepsi, definitely.
Pack the Pepsi, okay.
Aside from having ties to the community, you've got some ties to guys on this roster. You mentioned being a North Dakota kid. I imagine that means you've played against Zach Sandy growing up a bit. You went to North Star, right? So you played with Westy. What is that like, having kind of some of those relationships, whether it's as a teammate with Westy or as a guy that you used to have to play against and maybe didn't like, just because I imagine he's here, so Zach's was probably a pretty good goalie all along the way. What's it like being in the locker room with guys who you necessarily didn't like and having a teammate from before join you in the room?
I mean, it's really awesome. I mean, just getting together and just growing a new relationship with a bunch of new guys. You know, you create brotherhoods while you're here. And I mean, just playing against Sandy, I didn't really like it a whole lot because he's an unreal goaltender. And I mean, playing with Jackson Panzer when I was growing up in the Bakken Oiler deal, it was pretty awesome. And to be his teammate this year as well.
And then also, we've had a few guys come from that North Star Christian program since it started. What is it about that place that helps develop players?
I mean, overall, I feel like they just really focus in on your heart, and you really get to know your true self, and they grow men. And not only men, they grow great hockey players. I mean, the environment there is just absolutely unreal. Everybody loves everybody, and everyone's just dedicated to putting their time into not only growing as men, but as hockey players.
How much does that help, whether it's at the youth level, here at the junior level, when you have that 100% buy-in, how much does that help you develop your own game individually?
It helps a lot. I mean, when everyone's dialed in and everyone's focused at practice, I mean, it's hard to play against, and, you know, you're just grateful that they're going hard and working hard, and that's very contagious when everyone is giving their all. So,
Owen, we appreciate you coming on the show, and it's got to feel good to be wearing that Toros bullhead on your chest every night, and we appreciate everything you do for the organization.
For sure, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Fans, that is Minot's very own Owen Hansen. Ken, big weekend this weekend.
It is.
Start your weekend early, too.
Yeah, a little Thirsty Thursday action at the rink. Let's take on Aberdeen and hopefully get 2 big points. It's 2-10 against those guys last year. It was a rough season. Hey, we were the only team to beat them twice last year.
We technically beat them 4 times.
4 times if you include the postseason. So it was, and I mean, obviously they're not as strong as they were last year. So it'd be fun to get some revenge and get 2 big points on Thursday night. Get the day off and hopefully get 2 more on Friday or on Saturday, I should say.
Also, very big thing going on at the Mesa the entire month of November is the Circle Sanitation Coat Drive.
Yes.
That kicks off tomorrow. We'll have bins placed in the front of the rink for you to bring your new or gently used coats in. They'll stay here in the community in Minot too.
Yes.
So this community is one thing that I've learned very quickly when I moved here. Is this community just loves to help each other, and they love to lift each other up, and this is a huge opportunity and a great opportunity to do that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, just look at the diaper drive for Project B and the DVCC at the home opener. Our fans always kill it when we're trying to raise, whether it's money or donations for diapers, coats. We did a food drive a couple of years ago. Whatever it is we're asking fans to do, you guys always absolutely kill it. So looking forward to another successful Circle Sanitation coat drive, and like you said, we'll keep those coats right here in the community.
Absolutely. So make sure you head over to our website, download the app, get your tickets, and we'll see you tomorrow. That's Ken Oda. I'm Peter Theodos. We'll see you next time on Toros All Access.